Dr. Mehmet Oz is responding to a group of doctors who sent a letter to Columbia University asking he be stripped of his position as professor of surgery. The doctors called Oz a quack. He says they're targeting him because of his stance on genetically modified foods, or GMOs. Jerika Duncan joins us tonight. Hi, Jerika.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. So
Good to be here.
what is the latest on this?
Well, we did get a chance to get a statement from Dr. Oz, but just to go back, you have these 10 physicians. They came out with this letter to Columbia last week, and they essentially are calling for him to step down, calling for Columbia to say, you know, why do you have someone like this on your staff? This is interesting, too, because Dr. Mehmet Oz is the vice chair of the Department of Surgery there, but the letter says things like Dr. Oz has, quote, egregious lack of integrity and accuses him of promoting quack treatments and cures in the interest of personal financial gain. The sticking point, as you mentioned in the letter, is when these physicians specifically talk about these genetically engineered foods by saying that Dr. Oz has shown baseless and relentless opposition to genetic engineering of food crops. Today, Dr. Oz said in a statement, "In a sea of inaccurate, sweeping complaints, we noticed one specific allegation, GMOs. Although they misrepresented our stance," talking about the physicians, "we have supported GMO labeling."
Oz says they support GMOs and they're against him because he doesn't.
Well, Dr. Oz has said, of course, I brought this up many times on my show, but he has used some language where he talks about techno-fish and explaining just how this actually could impact your food. But his main issue has been he thinks that people here in the United States, as they do in a lot of other countries, have the right to know when their food has been genetically modified.
This got a lot of attention last week when the doctors sent this letter, which did not mince words. We were waiting for Dr. Oz to respond in some way. It appears he has, but you would think more to come on this story.
More is to come. He is taping something on his show tomorrow that is expected to air Thursday, where he will address this specifically. And one of the things that has been in question is do these physicians have a motivation? Is there an agenda? And what we did learn is that the letter was written by Dr. Henry Miller. He's been a very vocal proponent of genetically modified foods. He declined to do an on-camera interview, but he did tell us via email that he has never received any financial support from Monsanto. Now, that's important because that's something that Dr. Oz mentioned on his show. They're the leading developer of genetically modified foods. He said no, he's never received any sort of financial support. Yeah. But we did learn that Dr. Gilbert Ross, who also signed that letter, is the acting president of the American Council of Science and Health. We did confirm that that organization has received funding from Monsanto. So there's a lot of questions here, but at the end of the day, Dr. Oz is still at Columbia. Columbia responded by saying it is committed to the principle of academic freedom, and will, of course, look to see what Dr. Oz has to say on his show.
Yeah, lots of tentacles here, and we'll see you tomorrow morning with more on this, and probably tomorrow night. So, Jerika, thank you very much. See you soon.